Wow, was it foggy this morning along the Continental Divide. This time lapse shows you the fog lifting. It gets there eventually. Finally, we did get some clearer skies and a glimpse of the snow-kissed mountains. Have we got more snow on the way? Find that out at noon.
This is 9 News.
An emotional morning on Capitol Hill. Members of Congress clapped, cheered, some of them cried as Majority Whip Steve Scalise returned to the House chamber for the first time in months. The congressman was almost killed by a shooter in June during a congressional baseball practice. He's been working over the phone since then, and now he's back on the Hill. Everyone welcomed him with a standing ovation. Scalise thanked the police officers who saved not only his life, but also the others who were at that practice. One of those officers, David Bailey, was there. Scalise made sure to show his gratitude.
I got to see that goodness in people. And so while some people might focus on a tragic event and an evil act, to me, all I remember are the thousands of acts of kindness and love and warmth that came out of this and kept me going through all of it. And again, just re-emphasize just how wonderful most people are and how much compassion there is out there.
Scalise will begin work on the Hill as he continues to go through rehab for his injuries. Hasn't exactly felt like typical Colorado lately. The sunshine, anyone seen it? Not really. Looking live over the divide there, it is trying to peek through. Downtown Denver's, looking decently cloudy. And check out Horsetooth. You can't check out Horsetooth. All you can see is some moisture on the screen there. Danielle's in the backyard for us. Danielle, this thing's been sitting around longer than we thought. When's it going to end?
Well, you know what? We're already starting to see a little bit of blue sky coming in here to the 9 backyard. Just beautiful. However, we have been stuck under the clouds for about the past 5 days, so definitely kind of a shock to the system, but more sunshine is in the forecast. Up in the high country, they've just been loving it, putting the snow guns to work out there at A Basin. Mother Nature helping them out a little bit too, and the view, yep, out there at Horsetooth. Still, the raindrops on the camera lens. The storm system is slowly but surely beginning to scoot out of here. Still some light rain showers along the far eastern plains through Lamar, a heavy pocket of rain coming through Burlington, and then moving northward up toward Ray as well. Here in town, up to Fort Collins and Greeley, we're beginning to dry out. But this storm system, just what the doctor ordered, 1.25 inches so far for the month of September. It was so dry for the past 3 weeks. This is just desperately what we needed to see, and now we are sitting above average. Temps, though, still holding steady in the mid-50s, 50s along the eastern plains, just a hair warmer out to the west with 60s near Grand Junction, 40s, however, up in the mountains. The rest of this evening, just look for the clouds starting to push out. We could see maybe a few isolated lingering showers here and there. Otherwise, we start to see a little warm up on our hands. Still will feel like fall for the next couple of days, slightly below average, but we do have a warm up. We will get out of the 50s soon. And of course, all eyes on Sunday. Brandon, and for the Broncos forecast, we'll go over if we'll have some sunshine or perhaps need the ponchos yet again.
I like how you couched it as a slow warm up. It has been a slow warm up.
Slowly but surely.
All right. We'll look forward to the details. Appreciate it.
Sounds
Daniel,
good.
We'll see you soon. Puerto Rico's Governor Ricardo Rossello visited some of the areas devastated by Hurricane Maria. The governor landed in Scalise yesterday. The rural town's mayor says the storm damaged or destroyed 80% of the homes there. Governor Rossello says one of the biggest problems is getting supplies and trucks from place to place. The hurricane also wiped out the power grid on the island. The governor wants U.S. National Guard troops for help and more than $1 billion of federal aid. He says after this kind of disaster, the help just can't come soon enough.
Is the single biggest major catastrophe in the history of Puerto Rico, bar none. And it is probably the single biggest hurricane catastrophe in the history of the United States. And if we don't act appropriately, if we don't keep the pedal to the metal, as we have been, because Puerto Rico right now has no money in the bank, or will soon have no money in the bank.
The problems in Puerto Rico are compounded by the fact that the 2 hurricanes moved through the area back to back. President Trump, meantime, waived shipping restrictions that kept foreign ships from being able to transport goods between U.S. ports. The hope is lifting those restrictions in the law, which is known as the Jones Act, will help the hardest hit areas in Puerto Rico get more supplies more quickly. Basic things like food, fuel. The Jones Act was passed in 1920. It was meant to protect the U.S. shipping industry. A Royal Caribbean cruise ship is helping deliver much-needed supplies like generators, water, medical supplies to San Juan. It'll also head to other islands affected by Maria and Irma, including St. Croix and St. Thomas. Victims of Hurricane Harvey still need help, and the Houston Texans rookie quarterback did something about it for people close to the team. Deshaun Watson gave his first paycheck to some folks who work at Houston's football stadium. 3 cafeteria workers who lost their homes and cars. Watson brought him a gift, complete with a little red ribbon, I can say that. Each check's worth about $9 grand. Watson isn't the only member of the Texans who gave back. J.J. Watt's relief fund topped $37 million and still growing. Started out as a menacing call here in Colorado. It ended with a suspect in the hospital after a shootout in Adams County. Adams County Sheriff Mike McIntosh says the shooting happened on Osage Street near Pecos. When deputies got there, the suspect immediately started shooting, they say, so deputies shot back, hitting the suspect. It's unclear at this time how many deputies were involved exactly, but none of them were injured. No word on how serious the suspect's injuries are or what led them to fire at the deputies in the first place. The mass murderer behind the Aurora theater shooting got transferred to federal prison last night. He's at a maximum security prison in Allenwood, Pennsylvania. Colorado Department of Corrections says they wanted to transfer him for the past several months, but they had to wait for a space in a properly secure federal prison. We still don't know where James Holmes was before this transfer. The killer was transferred out of Colorado last year to an unknown state. Not even the families of the 12 people he murdered in cold blood were allowed to know his location, which made many of them uncomfortable. Governor Hickenlooper defended his administration keeping that location a secret for the safety of the prison staff, he said. A rock fall at Yosemite National Park killed one person and injured another. It happened at El Capitan, which is a strikingly tall vertical rock face popular with climbers. It's right in the Yosemite Valley area where most visitors go when they go there. Park rangers got the injured person out of the park to get medical attention. Other rangers and park helicopters are on scene. The park is still open. No other visitors have been affected. Well, the Winter Olympics are right around the corner. We're going to show you how they use a bouncy house for training. And all that rain from this morning should clear up by the end of the day. Danielle has your full forecast coming up next.
You know, we have had some serious extremes in the month of September. The beginning of the month looking nice and toasty. We had plenty of sunshine out there, temperatures soaring into the 90s. We were breaking records, and now we are finishing it off on a chilly note, feeling a little bit more like fall with all the rain and the clouds that are still lingering overhead. This is the view from Fort Collins, the CSU campus. It looks like the rain has subsided, but the cloud cover still in place. And across downtown Denver, you might find a few little pockets of sunshine, a little bit of blue skies in the far off distance. Otherwise, look for those clouds to remain throughout much of the day. Winds still a bit gusty out there. You got to go east of I-25 near Greeley, as well as Watkins, around 20+ mile-per-hour speeds. In the foothills, it has been relatively calm. Nice to see. And here in downtown Denver, it's looking pretty good too. Temperatures warming into the upper 50s around Denver, Broomfield, Boulder at 54. We're in the low 60s in Kremling and 40s from Estes Park south through Idaho Springs and Evergreen. Right now out of the airport, 54, mostly cloudy skies. Winds out of the southeast sustained at 17 miles per hour. Humidity around 69%, so you can definitely feel it when you walk outside. Here in the backyard, our temperatures coming at us right there at about 53. Still a pleasant start to our afternoon. Temperatures should be warming up just by a couple more degrees into the upper 50s this afternoon. 62 in Ray, 56 for Lamar, 50s in Salida, Del Norte, Ouray, and a hair warmer in Grand Junction. The storm system is slowly but surely trying to move out of Colorado. Right now, the heaviest rain is going to be along the eastern plains. Plains. From the Ray area, Yuma through Cheyenne Wells, Lamar, looking at some light rain. Here from the metro, we pretty much dried out. Still the cloud deck in place with some light snow still coming down around Estes Park. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Might find a little bit of fog out there. Overnight lows will dip into the mid-40s. We'll have light winds, 40s for the eastern plains, and then chilly as our skies slowly start to clear up in the high country too. We'll take you through the next 24 hours. Rain showers starting to wind down along the eastern plains, but by about 8 o'clock, we'll see this next band pushing in around the foothills. Might see a few light showers here in Denver, but I wouldn't hold your breath. I don't think we'll see much more rain from this storm. Still overnight, the showers continue for south central Colorado, moving in along the eastern plains by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. You folks are just under the thick of it. However, some clearing going into the mountain areas across northwestern Colorado for the beginning half of our Friday. By the second half, things change. We'll get another round that pushes in from the southwest, bringing some light rain showers to the foothills, snowfall yet again along those higher peaks. You got to go well up high, about 11,000 feet, maybe 1 or 2 isolated afternoon, evening storms here in the Denver area, and then we are well on our weekend. Looks like a repeat on Saturday with the storms, but temperatures should be warming up by a good about 10, 11 degrees. We'll be back to the mid-70s, and I think the beginning half of the day should be fantastic if you're going out there to the pumpkin patches or just kind of getting into the fall mood. We'll fall back to the 60s, however, for the start of next week and bring back a few more showers. We'll be right back.
The head of the Small Business Administration, a member of President Trump's cabinet, is in town, and she says she wants to help out business owners here. So, 9 News reporter Andrew Sorensen talked to Linda McMahon.
Well, there's a lot of focus on small businesses here in Colorado this week because Denver Startup Week is going on right now. SBA Administrator Linda McMahon is in town in part to stop by that and some other places around Colorado as part of her National Ignite Tour. Welcome to Colorado. Thanks so much for being here. Tell me about this Ignite Tour. What does it do?
Well, the Ignite Tour is a tour that I started to make sure that I fulfilled a promise to visit every SBA district office, and there's 68 around the country, and also in Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands. So I wanted to visit every district office. We have business roundtables. I want to hear what small businesses have to say, what their issues are, how we can be helpful, how we can help them get access to capital, how we can help them grow, how we can mentor them and help them with networking.
And there are a lot of businesses here in Colorado, hundreds of thousands of them. One of the primary things that SBA does is loans. How many businesses here are getting those loans?
Well, you know, there are about 600,000 businesses, and so there are a lot fewer numbers than that, but we'll have, you know, around 6,000 loans that we have.
Well, I can only imagine that at Denver Startup Week, there are going to be a lot of people trying to bend your ear a little bit for those services. But once you're there, I want to know, what are you looking forward to learning, to seeing with, you know, so many small businesses in one small place?
We know what's really great is people are coming from all over the country. I think there were about 16,500 applications to come in for Startup Week. So what I like to do is, in fact, I'm having sort of a fireside chat with the CEO of business for JP Morgan Chase. That's one thing that we're doing. And then we're going to take questions from the audience. I'm also going to have another big round table this afternoon and take questions because I want to hear, are they having trouble getting capital? What are their biggest issues? Is it a regulatory environment? Is it a tax environment? What is it that is really helping or not helping small businesses to grow or to start? And so I want to be small businesses advocate in Washington, D.C. That's part of what SBA does.
All right. Well, SBA Administrator Linda McMahon, Small Business Administration, thank you very much for being here. Hope you enjoy Colorado and Denver Startup Week. I hope you can help a lot of people out there. We're going to be right back.
The world's best winter athletes are pouring into Utah to talk about the upcoming 2018 Winter Games at the Team USA Media Summit. Lots of talking. Yeah, they're also training. This is the Utah Olympic Park, and this is a brand new jump for training. It's only a couple months old, and basically it's a big watered-down bouncy house that skiers and snowboarders fly off of. The setup makes it you know, nice to have a soft landing. The jump allows them to do some pretty crazy moves without getting hurt. Silverthorne snowboarder Red Gerard says, yeah, it's real fun.
This big downhill slope on like fake snow, it's like little like plastic bristles that actually feel a lot like snow. It's kind of amazing. And you hit this jump into a downhill airbag that's like basically a big slip and slide is how I explain it. And you can just kind of try whatever you want. Like it doesn't, you can fall in the most awkward way. And the worst that's gonna happen is you're gonna get some like whiplash or something.
Soon enough, they're gonna start training and competing on real, you know, snow. Still looks like fun. All right, a research program out of Colorado is looking for better ways to fight fires. The Center of Excellence for Advanced Technology Aerial Firefighting is developing a system that can predict how a wildfire will change as it burns. The fire prevention system looks at terrain maps, fire fuels, and hourly weather updates over the fire. They'll use drones as well to get a view. The aerial view, then combined with the prevention system, will put the firefighters in the right place. The idea being they'll be able to fight the fires, put them out faster. The COE says they need to run more tests on the technology before they're ready to deploy it in real life. So we've talked a lot about the growing opioid epidemic, but there is there maybe a solid alternative for people who need to kill pain? A doctor at Presbyterian St. Luke's Medical Center believes neurostimulation surgery can help some people who've got chronic pain. They implant a device in the spine, and that stimulates the area where the pain is. The doctor says with this procedure, the area that needs the treatment is the only part of your body that gets it, unlike an opioid drug, which of course goes all throughout your bloodstream. One woman who had the surgery in 2008 says she went from spending most of her time bedridden to working out every day, something she didn't think would ever happen.
So it was a huge adjustment. Now my life is so full, I don't have enough time in the day to get it all done, and before that's all I had.
Well, doctors say in most cases insurance will pay for the surgery, but you'll want to check with your provider to see if it is covered. 9 News reporter Eddie Randall is going to have this full story for us ahead on 9 News at 5. All right, you've heard the phrase attitude's everything. Well, that goes for flu shots, apparently. A new study finds that having an upbeat attitude about getting the vaccine can actually make it more effective, at least according to a University of Nottingham study out of the UK. I think my attitude was pretty good when I got mine here at 9 News, you know, filling in on the noon show. Wait, I want it to work. My attitude was awesome when I got my shot. Researchers found that seniors who were in a good mood when they got vaccinated were less likely to have gotten the flu 4 months later. The study also looked at what did not make the shot any more effective, including diet, exercise, and sleep. I mean, it's good to watch those things, just doesn't help the vaccine. Researchers suggest fearful patients should listen to a happy song or have a nice phone call with a friend right before they, you know, stick a needle in you. October is only a few days away, and the Denver Zoo is getting ready with its own version of fall flair. We'll have a preview of Dinos After Dark before it opens next week. Hey, it's already all pumpkins all the time, and today Denver Zoo installed more than 20 sculptures made from artificial jack-o'-lanterns. These are going to light up during the Dinos After Dark exhibit. Guests can drop by to see art resembling safari animals like cheetahs, zebras, that sort of thing, and prehistoric creatures like Stegosaurus. You can see the art during the day, but it's at night when things really spring to life.
If you look closely, it's carved at different levels, so there's different layers to that carving. All of that's lit up. So at night, you actually see different textures.
Dinos After Dark starts next week. Family nights are Fridays and Saturdays. There's an adults-only night. I didn't know that. On Thursday. Got to be 21 and over for that. I'm guessing there might be craft beer involved.
Or it's just extra scary.
I don't know.
I don't know.
One or the other.
Hey, you know what? This weekend we have the Broncos game going on as they face off the Raiders. Things are looking pretty good. We'll be in the 70s for the start of the game. Nice and dry.
All right. Go get you a cup of coffee. I know it's tiring with all those gray skies. That's going to do it for 9 News at noon. We'll see you back at 4, 5, 9, 10, all of those.
Always.